Part two. So I completed my 120 days. I lost 29.1 pounds. I had done this through calorie deficit, working out, doing cardio, 45 minutes of elliptical every day, and 3 times a week I would do weightlifting, arms only, and I measured everything with a food scale and I logged everything with Noom. And while I had decided that I was just going to give it 120 days and see how far I could go, around day 90, I had figured out that I was going to continue after the 120 days and see how much further I could take this. I had seen tremendous results with doing what I had done, and I had figured that I'm going to keep going. And so 120 days came, 29.1 pounds lost. I was a little disappointed that it wasn't 30 pounds, but overall, I tried to remember that I was pretty happy about that. And I was ready to move forward the next phase. So I didn't know how long that was going to take me, but I just knew that I was just going to continue forth. And I realized that it took me basically 4 months to lose almost 30 pounds. And I still had another 20 pounds. I figured that I could lose another 20 pounds. I wanted to see if I could get to a 50-pound weight loss. I'm 5'2", and I knew that the range of weight could be definitely 117 pounds as a goal, since my starting was 167.7. So day 121 came and went right back to continuing to do what I was doing. And I was continuing to do that. I continued to lose weight. I continued to log. I didn't do anything different at all. And I remember I had gone to in July 10th, 2021, I had attended a Beatles Fest. And I met lots of wonderful people there. And some of them have become really, really great friends. And we took lots of pictures. And I don't know if you remember what I said in my last video, I did not do any leg strengthening exercises. And we had pictures taken on that day, on July 10th, and I had seen my legs. I was wearing shorts, and I seen my legs, and I go, oh, I guess the elliptical didn't take care of legs as much as I thought. And the very next day, I added in 3 leg exercises for strength training. So I did 3 machines. I did leg extension, leg press, and leg curls. And I incorporated that into my routine. And so I continued forth. And so day after day, week after week, month after month, and I was seeing progress. And I was logging everything, and I just continued. I think one of the things that I wish I had done this earlier, because now this is 4 years out, and I feel like some of those memories have faded. So if you're going through your own weight loss journey, let me tell you something. I recommend that you document way better than I was. And if you do it, if you can't do it as you're doing it, as you're going along, then definitely do it after you complete your goal sooner than I did. Because I'm thinking back, there was still a lot of feelings of doubt, and this is taking a long time, and, I'm working so hard, and when am I going to see these results? But the good news was that because of my previous experience with understanding how investing works, I knew that I should just continue going, and that I would eventually get to someplace where I wanted to be. And that happened. So January 8th or 9th rolled around of 2022, and I gotten on the scale, and I had reached my goal of 117.7 pounds. Now, I realized that, you can't look at the scale as an end-all be-all. I definitely understand that even more so now. But to me, that was a fantastic accomplishment, that I had made it there, and that I had not only lost the weight, but that I had restructured how I ate, how I looked at food, how I understood nutrition, how I learned to cook just a little bit, and how all of those things was able to get me to this place where I was in such a much better spot. And I remember that, thinking like, wow, this happened so quick. And it was funny because during the months preceding to that, it seemed to take forever. It took forever, but it was day 121 to day 320. So it took me 120 days to lose almost 30 pounds. And then it took me 199 days, basically 6 months, to lose the last 20 pounds to equal 50. So the other part of it is that, I do know on the other end of it, my weight loss had slowed down, it seemed. But in addition to that, I was also growing muscle because I was weightlifting 3 days a week, and I had added legs into the mix for my workout. And I thought it was interesting how it felt like it was taking me forever, but it actually, by the time I got there, it felt like it was very, very quick. And I remember I had gone into work one day, and my colleague Kim, she's so sweet. She's been working out, weightlifting for a very, very, very long time, and in fantastic shape. And she was definitely a great influence on me and an encouragement as well as I was going through my journey. And I remember coming in one day and I was frightened. And frightened because I had made it to my goal, but what happens now? Am I going to go back? That was a fear I remember distinctly having. Am I going to go back to my old ways now that I got to my goal? What's stopping me from going back? And it really caught me. I was nervous, and I said that to her. I said that to my colleague Kim. I said, "Oh my God, what if I go back? Will I go back?" And she stops me and she says, "No, you will never go back because you know too much now." And that stopped me in my tracks, in my brain. I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're right. Because this was different than a diet, what I had gone through. I had changed. And I changed the way I thought about food and thought about exercise and thought about all of that. And I wasn't going to go back. To me, though, time is always the proof. And maybe that's the other reason why maybe I waited a little bit to tell my story. But it's been 4 years and I have not gone back. And my body has changed in the last 4 years, but I feel like it's only improved. I've continued since then to improve my workouts. I've learned more. I've learned even more about nutrition. Not that I claim to be any kind of expert, but really understanding the value of eating good food, tasty food, but food that is healthy and that is natural. Avoiding processed foods. Understanding the importance of drinking enough water, making sure that I'm satiated. When I was in a calorie deficit, it was very important to keep track of your calories, or my calories. And it still is. I still keep track of my calories. I've been keeping track of my calories the whole time. And I don't find it to be an annoyance or a hindrance at all. I feel like it gives me freedom because I know what I'm consuming and I understand what I'm consuming and I'm aware of what I'm doing so that I can make adjustments when I need to, but also make sure that I'm staying on track. So that's what happened. So in total, it took me 10 and a half months or 320 days to go from being 50 pounds overweight, having a 42-inch waist, being not in a good space about how I felt about myself. Um, I no longer heard my heartbeat in my ears. Now I'm not a medical professional. I didn't have it checked out, but I was no longer hearing my heartbeat in my ears, and I really felt that that was a sign that because that had gone away, that I did something really good for myself, and I was in a much healthier space. But if anybody out there is also, been struggling, for a long time to get a hold of their weight, to get a hold of, their health, I get that how difficult it is, and um, it's definitely a difficult thing, and I think everybody has to find their way and find what works for them. This just happened to work for me, and if this helps you, even if you take one little thing and it helps you, maybe not even today, but if it happens, sometime in the future because you saw this, um, then it'll be worth it, me making this video. But God bless, and let me know what you think, what you've been through, and I hope to make a community here of people who who've been through maybe similar journeys or looking to get some help to get through their own situation with their health. But this has definitely been an experience and something that I'll continue to go with forward in my life. Take care.